Memento mori, remember that you will die. This isn't meant to sound morbid. It's a concept that I learned a while ago, and it's something that I've carried with me as Toby's been going through his health struggles, and then I've been going through my own. So what I'm hoping to get across in this video is that remembering about your mortality isn't about living in fear. It's the thing that finally gives you permission to live. So 11 years ago, a lot of you will have seen the backstory about both Toby and then my own health, but firstly Toby 11 years ago, who grew up as a fit and healthy kid, pretty like normal childhood. 11 years ago he was diagnosed with a terminal brain condition. It's called adrenoleukodystrophy. If you want to go learn more about that, I'll put a link to the story that kind of goes more into that time, but essentially he was a fit and healthy kid up until that time. 11 years ago, 2015, was diagnosed with ALD. We noticed slight changes in his behavior, things that weren't quite right, and yeah, it's a degenerative brain condition. At the time he was only given 12 to 18 months to live, and fortunately he's doing relatively, under the circumstances, relatively well, considering how long he was actually given to live. And it was in that time that when you're told that someone so close to you only has like 12 months to live, it really brings life into sharp focus and how you have to make the most of every minute that you have alive. Because we could have, like, fortunately we still have Toby with us now, but like, we didn't know how much longer we had left with him. And like, I mean, for any of us, we don't know when our last moment is going to be. But yeah, that definitely brought life into sharp focus, that we had to do as much as we could in the time that we had with Toby. We were fortunate to be gifted by Make-A-Wish a trip to Barcelona to watch the Copa del Rey final, which Toby had always wanted to go and watch. And yeah, there was a lot that we did, like not long after the diagnosis, just to make the most of the time that we had, because we didn't know how long that we had with him. And like I said, we're fortunate that we still have him today, but it's kind of always been like, since that time, that was kind of what sparked in my mind that none of us know when our last moment is. You have to make the most of every single second. And that's kind of something that like I've carried with me into my work now, into what I'm doing, that yeah, you don't know when your last moment is going to be. If you have the gift of your health, you're able to get up and do things, you're able to work on your fitness, you're able to add years to your life, then you have to make the most of it. Because seeing what Toby's been through and like the gradual decline, unfortunately, like he's doing now like fairly stable, like nothing hasn't really got that much worse. And I think in a way he's in a better position now than he was like a few years ago, because there was a time when he was getting all these like dystonic spasms and like in pain a lot of the time. So fortunately he's like doing like relatively okay under the circumstances. But that's what kind of triggered that in my mind, and that's where that kind of thought always came from. But something that I did speak about more recently with my own health, so like the two separate things relate to like what I've experienced, links to the adrenoleukodystrophy that Toby has, because obviously like genetically we're brothers, we have the same genes, a condition that there's no diagnosis for it for me, but it's something called AMN, or adrenomyeloneuropathy, which is something that can develop in people like as they get older into their like 20s, that didn't get it from earlier on like Toby did, where yeah, I haven't like done loads of research into it, and I am working on it now, like working on improving it. So yeah, first thing, like I've spoke about a few times about the testosterone, which yeah was an issue. Like it all started about 18 months ago, so yeah, that's being treated for. Hopefully it will be sorted and levels will get back to where they're meant to be. A few months into the gel that I'm taking, I don't know if it's doing anything yet, but it's something that I'm going to keep looking into, keep trying to get support with, and hopefully get it sorted. But anyway, the main issues are the testosterone, and then the second thing is issues with walking. Now, I knew that there were issues like with my gait, with my walking, like going way back. Again, I said this in the video before, back like 18 months towards the back end of uni, I knew that there were signs there, and then it kind of played into my running. I just felt like something outside of my control was there holding me back, and yeah, kind of led to me, before I had kind of spoken or like opened up about any of the issues, I just kind of like just stopped the running, decided to focus more on the gym, which at the time was kind of like, felt nice, because running, I know for a lot of people, I know for me, like I never felt like going out running, even before I had issues with it that kind of prevented me, that made the running harder. I never really wanted to go out running half the time anyway. There were days when it was nice and sunny, it's nice and motivating to go out, but a lot of the time I just didn't want to go out anyway. But yeah, kind of March last year I kind of stopped that because I felt like there were issues there. Then related to like my walking, my gait, which again I knew that issues were there. That, like I said before, I didn't reach out for help with this till like December last year. But yeah, kind of what going through all of that personally, added on to seeing what Toby's gone through, it's kind of definitely given me a different level of kind of perspective on life, a different level of urgency. Seeing what he's gone through no fault of his own, and then what I've experienced, which, yes, I'm working with a physio now to help the walking and getting treatment for the testosterone, so hopefully like things are being managed. But yeah, kind of all of it is definitely made me very aware of the fact that if you don't take care of yourself in the right way, if you don't do the right things to look after yourself, you don't know when you could lose it. Now, for most people, going through what I've been through and what Toby's been through, it's not going to happen for most people because the condition is so rare. But if you have the ability to train, to work on things, to be fit and healthy without anything impeding on you, then you have to make the most of it. But to tie it back to kind of the main point of this video, like, it's very acutely made me aware that I have to make the most of every second, every day that I get to do what I do, because I love my work, I love what I do, and it's that awareness that I can't take it for granted, that I'm not guaranteed, like, I mean, touch wood, I am able to do this for like years to come, but it's not guaranteed for anyone. And having been through what I've been through, that has been made that much more apparent, and that's something that I hope that I get across in the way that I coach people, that it's about being adaptable, working around whatever issues you have going on, but also realizing that you can't take it for granted. When I speak about, yes, you might say that you don't have time, but if you can't make time to work on your health and your fitness, then you don't have anything else, because that is the thing that underlies everything else that you do in life. So you have to take care of that. So another way this kind of helps me is kind of posting online, talking to camera, doing what I'm doing now is something that I never thought that I would be doing like a few years ago, because I was petrified of talking to the camera. But now, I mean, a big part of it is that now I've put myself out there, I feel that I can just talk from the heart on kind of what I've experienced, and hopefully share that that knowledge with other people. But again, having that realization that yes, you will die one day. At some point, all of us will die. Not to sound morbid again, but having that realization just reminds you that nothing really matters. As much as you might be thinking about the opinions of others and like caring about what other people think, they're not thinking about you as much as you think they are. Even if they are thinking about you, one day they are going to be dust. We're all going to be dust. So there's no point wasting your time, your limited time on this earth, stressing over what that one person says or thinks about you. You just have to do the things that make you uncomfortable. Live true to your heart and do the things that you feel are right. And even if it's something as simple as like going to the gym, like people aren't thinking about you as much as you think they are. But again, if they are thinking about you, so what? You have to live your life. And when you remind yourself that you don't live forever, you don't have anything to lose, because all of our fears as humans ultimately lead back to death. And when you're comfortable with the idea that one day you will die, because we all will, and I think it's better to be comfortable with that than try to avoid it, you're able to live in a much freer and more liberated way. Just all the little annoyances, the little things that worry you, that stress you out, you realise that if they're not going to matter in 5, 10, 20 years, it's not worth wasting your time worrying about now. And it's something that I still have to remind myself of now, that I'll easily get caught up in the little things that ultimately don't matter. You focus in on things, you go like narrow tunnel vision, and these things seem so important. But when you zoom out, you think about the whole like spectrum of your life. You think about how small we are relative to the universe. Like things just don't matter that much. So the concept of memento mori definitely helps to give me that sense of urgency. The other thing it gives is perspective. Like I said, you care less about the opinions of other people. I think like most of our concerns as humans come back to what other people are going to think of us. With all my own health things that were going on, I think a lot of the issues with it weren't the condition itself. It's the fact that I felt like I was hiding something and not showing up as my true self, that I was hiding something, holding something back that people might have suspected was there, but I didn't want to talk about it. So now it's out there. I feel like I'm just living like so much like freer, and it's nice to be able to live like that. So now more specifically how this might apply to you. I've touched on how this relates to if you're new to the gym. It's that feeling of like you're not ready yet. You'll be ready when, at some point in the future. Now yes, trying something new is hard. Pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone and doing something beyond what you've done before is hard. As humans, we're wired to crave comfort, to do what's familiar, because when we're doing the unfamiliar things, it sets our brain into fear and panic, and we're in that flight or flight mode. But a different perspective that might help you is thinking, if you only had 1 year left on this planet, how would you spend your time? You're probably not thinking about, oh, I'm worried about that person in the gym, the guy that's in better shape than me, and I'm worried about what he's going to think of me if I go on this piece of equipment and try it wrong. You don't need to care about what those people think of you. You need to focus on yourself, focus on being a little bit better than you were yesterday. Just keep showing up, keep doing the hard things, and that's all that really matters. You want to be stronger, you want to be leaner, whatever. If you know that you're trying, you're doing your best, and you're taking the right actions that are going to lead you to that goal, you can't be stressing over what Johnny around the corner is thinking about you. So to wrap up, memento mori is something that has definitely, I've always carried with me throughout my journey, like mainly like in business and as a PT, since I got into self-improvement, when I started learning about this idea. But it was kind of there in the back of my mind anyway, when Toby started going through all the issues that he went through. And now I feel like with anything, I'm not waiting for the right time. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not waiting until I have it all figured out. It's just taking messy action, like I've spoken about before, being guided by the thing that's beyond you. Know why you want to do it. And it's because we don't know how much longer we have here. You're only going to be this young once, so you have to make the most of the opportunity that you have. So my challenge to you this week is to think about what's the one thing that you've been putting off because you feel that you're scared, that you're not ready to do it, that you're waiting for that right time. Do that thing this week, because the right time will never come. As always, if you want to see more videos like this from me, then go down and hit subscribe. Again, there will be more videos coming on, like my own journey, maybe stuff about Toby as well, just sharing how we get on. But yeah, if you got value from it, drop a like, subscribe for more videos like these. I definitely find it useful to just talk to camera about the things that I've been through, and this is the type of content that I would have wanted to watch a few years ago when I was just learning more about myself and about the world. So I hope that if it helps one person, then that's all that really matters ultimately. So yeah, I'll leave links if you're interested in working with me on a fitness journey. I'll put those links in the description as well. But anyway, subscribe for more, drop a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.